And then go live.
Is it live?
It's live now. Wow.
That was awesome.
That's how it should be.
Gave me more faith in the system.
Copy.
Check 1, 2. So those little
check. Okay, and publish.
Sure.
Publish. It's going to be a long time. We're going to have to wait.
Will people be able to go back and see from this beginning part?
It depends on what we decide.
Oh, whether it just stays a live chat or not.
Right.
I think we just keep it a live chat.
Yeah.
And we'll know when someone's on because it'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Like a number there.
People.
I see. It'd be funny because if we were public right now, the numbers would be ding, ding, ding,
right.
ding, ding, ding.
I know. It's going to be really slow. This might not even work.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We could even ask them to write a comment when they see this or something to help us test this. Why you could hit the edit button and say something like to test, help us test this. Could you?
Well, no, there's 2 people watching.
There's 2 people watching already.
Hi. Welcome to our question and answer. So this is let's see. We're going to need a little bit of explanation here.
Yeah.
So for our 2 people who are watching, so we're thinking of making this a perk.
Oh, we already have.
We're going to make that. We're making this a patron perk,
right?
And we want to test it to make sure that it works well,
right?
And we want to.
Hi, Melody. Hi,
basically, Michael. We want to have you guys ask some questions that are on the top of your head and then on the tip of your tongue, and see if this is going to be any fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
something you want us to actually do.
I guess my first question is, who's not watching the Super Bowl?
I know. Apparently, 10 people plus us. That's 12 people. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
So hopefully you can hear us.
Yeah. Give us any comments.
Check 1, 2.
Oh, is this for the whisper segment?
Yeah.
The ASMR segment.
Yeah. That's not part of this. So.
You're getting a Model X, Melody.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. That's going to be so much fun.
Okay. Good. All right. Audio's great. Excellent. Oh. No Super Bowl in England, huh? You're honestly not missing too much,
Oh, the 1901 electric car scene.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was alive back then, so I can give you a first-hand account.
Oh, it's focused wrong. Thank you for telling us. It's hard to see in this.
Oh, I didn't know that could focus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's a little bit better. Maybe it's better. I don't know. We'll see. All right.
It does seem like the whole room is focused.
Yeah, we're just using a little webcam. Actually, it has a 4.8 f-stop. Nope, it's a 2. A 2. That's
a lot of light.
That's a lot of light. That's crazy.
Yeah.
At least not forward focus. Okay, so this is going to be a little Q&A.
Yep.
Sort of a test to make sure that we can do it, that we have what it takes. Because we're going to offer this as a Patreon bonus perk. That will happen monthly. So
that's right.
Every month we're going to sit down here and allow you guys to ask us questions. And so, yeah, feel free to ask us whatever questions you want. I think we already have one from David Finch. Which one of you plays the guitars?
Yeah. So this is, we're in my recording studio, Night Train Recording Studios. And we also compose music for TV shows like HBO's Vice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I play guitar. Jesse also plays a little guitar.
Yeah.
He's a saxophone player by trade.
By trade. I haven't played it and I haven't picked it up in like a year and a half. So I don't think I consider myself as much a musician as I used to be. But yeah, those are the guitars that are back there. Collection of ukuleles, guitars, a bass.
There's a mandolin over there.
We have a mandolin up and over here. David plays the saxophone too. That's cool. I played tenor, so
we could even try and like get a band going live. Like
that would be pretty crazy. Let's see. Daryl said, "Do you have a Model 3 or you just have one on loan?"
You have one on order. Hope to get it by June. Yes. So a lot of people, this is like the number one question we've been getting is, what's up with that Model 3?
Yeah.
I guess what I can tell you is that you're going to be seeing a lot of it.
Yep.
That's for sure.
The technicalities are very complicated and we don't want to get into them extremely, but basically we have it in our possession. It's up in the driveway right now. So it's,
Yeah, and so, and if you ever have any questions about the Model 3, we'll be glad to try and get them answered for you. If
and this is probably a good place of any to ask any questions that you have.
Yeah.
Super specific questions. I don't know if we're gonna just have them off the top of our head, but I could always run upstairs and check.
Right.
But right now we are tethered to a computer, so we can't really bring the tower all the way upstairs.
Right. I play the radio.
It's good. I do too.
I play Spotify.
That's true.
My favorite. What do you guys like to? So Pandora, Spotify. What do you guys like to listen to? Like when you're in your Teslas. I guess right now we don't have anything other than what Tesla supplies, which is Slacker,
right?
At least in the U.S. Now, I think some of you in Europe are getting Spotify already. I'd be interested to hear if any of you who have Spotify in your Teslas, if you are enjoying it, because that is my music station, my music source of choice.
All right, David has a good question. He says, "I'm guessing Sparky has air suspension. It does.
It does.
And the Model 3 doesn't. It does not. You're right. Is it noticeably different?" So, I mean, the Model X has the air suspension in order to lift or lower the car, and there's a few times that we'll actually use that, right?
So I was taking someone for a spin the other day in the Model 3, just one of our viewers who lived in the area, and we showed up at his house, and he said that he'd been, reading everything he could on the Model 3, and that what's going around the internet right now is that the ride is very terse. A lot of people use that word terse, and that scares a lot of people because that means that can sound like, oh, every bump you hit is going to be like
right.
But no, it's a very sports car like ride. It's very BMW-ish, German car-ish, very tight. But when he got in, he said, "Oh my gosh, this feels great. This isn't what I thought from all those articles." So taking it from other people's perspective, everyone's been enjoying the ride a lot. Even when you ride on bumpy roads or hit an occasional little pothole,
right?
It's a really nice ride,
right? And I mean, just driving it, the handling of the Model 3 is just fantastic. It just feels like you're on rails the whole time. It's amazing.
It's 2,000 pounds lighter than my Model X, and you really do feel that. It really, it's a lot lighter, so it really holds the road better than the Model X does, and also because you're down lower.
Yep. All right, let's see. So we have 15 people watching. I think that's a good test.
That's a great test.
I mean, especially for during the Super Bowl, you couldn't really expect anything more.
I am actually going to ask these folks some questions. So what would be a good time for everybody? We're probably going to do this on the weekends, most likely probably on a Sunday.
Right. And we might vary the times just so that way we can hopefully cover the globe.
Right. Because I mean, in California time, it's 3 hours behind us. You guys in Europe are 5 or 6 hours ahead. If you're in Australia, you're 12 or 14 hours ahead. So it's hard to find the sweet spot, but we will try and vary it up.
Yep. All right. Let's see. So let's take Lewis's question and then we'll go up to David. So are we going to the Falcon Heavy launch? So we're not going to the Falcon Heavy launch that's coming up.
Yeah, we weren't invited. We weren't invited to the February 6th or 7th launch. And I mean, we debated going because it's going to be historic. But, Jesse's got work. I've got work. And it's expensive to go. And so we figured since they are going to invite us to, I think, the June or July launch, we'll probably wait for that.
Right. And then, David, so you're thinking more about road noise than ride. Does air suspension make it quieter? In a Renault Zoe and Hyundai Ioniq, you still get a lot of road noise. The road noise in both the Teslas are...
I feel like they improved the road noise in the 3. I feel like they learned a lot more about dampening. I think the wheel wells were a big source of noise in the Model X because there's a lot of area there. And I feel like they found ways to get that closed up more. So I don't think road noise is really an issue. Some people talked about wind noise being an issue in the early S's and X's. And again, I think they've been figuring that out. We just did a Patreon bonus story about the Model 3, where one of the big 3, GM or Ford, one of those companies, hired someone to kind of, I don't know.
They bashed the car. Basically, they walked around, and this is a very early Model 3. We're assuming that they got their hands on.
By the way, we forgot to record
it. Oh, it was the Patreon. Oh, we haven't even got to that.
Yes,
we still have to set that up. Okay, great. I was wondering why I don't have any memory of recording it. So we are going to be talking about, and you guys will see later.
Right. Monday.
We're gonna
or Tuesday.
I mean, they really bashed the car, and for a bunch of really little things. I mean, like being able to open the frunk.
It's funny how there's so many people on YouTube, especially, that make little problems seem like huge problems.
Right.
Like there's a video out recently by a couple of brothers who are like, 5 things we hate about the Model 3. And then when you watch it, the first 10 minutes, they're gushing about how the car is awesome.
Right.
And there really wasn't anything they hated about it.
Right. I mean, the small problems that the Model 3 has, I mean, are, little quirks and little things that, you might not see on other cars, but other cars have their own little quirks and
Right.
stuff. So, I mean, I think it's pretty unfair for people to just, bash on the car for like a little, like there was a little piece of rubber that they had glued on there.
Right.
And they were like, whoa, I've never seen this on any car since the 60s. And it was like, whoa, like, really?
Right.
That's what you're, and why? Based on what are you making fun of this little piece of rubber?
Right.
It was just like, I don't know, really, that's what you're going to pick on? They didn't talk anything about the drivetrain. They didn't talk anything about the huge crumple zone. They talked about how they couldn't open the frunk. I mean, and how you couldn't open the rear doors with the mechanical latch. Now, I mean...
Oh, and he was also talking about how hard it was to open
for him to do. And he was like,
handles.
It's so hard, you have to push and then pull. And then he demonstrated. He's like, that's really hard, so I don't do that. I push it and pull with both hands. And it's like, what? Dude, you just showed you could do it.
Right.
And he was like, I was in an ATV accident. It's like, you were in an ATV accident, dude. Well, you're going to basically, this is a repeat of, we should just take this clip, put it into everyone will complain about the poor quality of video, but
wow, there's some people up late right now. There's someone at midnight in UK, 1 a.m. in Central Europe. Wow, thank you for staying up so late. Don't stay up too late.
I know. I'm glad that we're able to interact with you guys. I mean, because honestly, we know that you guys are our biggest fans, our biggest supporters, and we want to make sure that we can interact with you guys as directly as possible. I mean, the Patreon bonus story is definitely a chance for us to talk more directly to you guys, but this is certainly a way for you guys to talk more directly to us. And
right.
So we're
also going to be experimenting with an idea to do a Google Hangout.
Right. So not only will you be able to sort of text in your questions and stuff, but you can just sort of like hang out with us and a couple other patrons. I think we're going to have to limit it just based on
25
Google Hangouts or something like that.
But then we'd be able to see you and hear you.
Right. And we'd be able to, right. It'd be super cool. You'd have your own webcam or phone or something. So I think that would be really, it's going to be really fun.
Let us know if you're interested in something like that, because we're toying with that idea. It's a technological step for us, but
we have to do some testing and make sure that it works. I'm so glad that you love our autonomous driving future videos.
Oh, good. Yeah, this is a lot of work. We're working on episode 10 right now.
Yeah.
That should be out fairly soon.
Yeah. Zoom, you can have 99 people.
Look into Zoom. Oh, what's Zoom?
I don't know. Let's Google it right now.
Yeah, we're going to.
Hey, we can do that.
This is what I'm talking about.
This is pretty cool.
This community of smart people is fantastic.
Zoom, or it's probably like live stream or something.
Yeah. Because we did look into what's it called? The one we used on
Crowdcast.
Crowdcast. But that seemed like, I don't know. All right. I love it. Sign up. It's free, it says.
That sounds good.
All right. We'll definitely look into Zoom. Thank you, Melody. That's awesome. So Melody does that for her Patreon supporters. Melody, what is it
expensive?
I want to know more about what Melody. Do you have a YouTube channel or a Patreon? So she has a Patreon.
Yeah,
we're gonna check you out.
Check it out. All right, we'll keep this open. We'll check this out later because we don't want to bore everyone. But if anyone has any questions about us, or we're in good company. There's only 22 of you. And
David, you say you enjoy listening to us podcasting in your car. What podcast service do you use? Do you use TuneIn? Do you listen through your phone, like through Stitcher or iTunes?
Yeah.
Like what? We're always curious. Like, what are the big podcast services for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
So Nathan has a question here. So David says iPhone podcast app.
Cool.
Excellent. That works. That's awesome.
Let's see.
So what's Nathan saying there?
Nathan says, I think that everyone except for Tesla is working on autonomous vehicles that are for them and use a service like Lyft, and not to sell them to the consumer. What are your thoughts? No, that is a good point. We haven't. I mean, we have seen some level 2 stuff. I mean, a lot of the higher end manufacturers have some sort of autopilot
Right.
system, and it's usually some kind of lane assist. I haven't heard people gushing about it like I hear people with Teslas. I mean, I honestly haven't experienced like a Mercedes Benz or a Audi.
I think, I think a lot of people that are in this field and are really thinking about autonomous understand that there's going to be this gray area where you don't really want too many people to do autonomous driving and turn it on and off. You want to basically get through this gray area as quickly as possible. So you want to basically develop autonomous driving and then just switch all cars to autonomous. Boom. Because as soon as you mix a human with autonomous, you get the worst of both worlds. You get humans running amok in the system. So
Right.
I think they're all trying to get to level 4 and 5 as quick as possible, and then take humans out of the equation. Which
it does seem like it could go that way. I think Tesla's interesting because like you could buy a Model 3 and then have it go full autonomous, and then yeah, you could be the service provider basically. You could have it drive to drive you to work and then go pick people up and do everything during the day and then come pick you up, drive you home, and then send it off. I mean, it'd be cool. You wouldn't need a parking spot at your house. You wouldn't need a parking spot at work, and you'd be making money all throughout the day. I mean, I think it'd be really cool. But I think that all these other car sharing services, yeah, they are developing cars that are just, they're only going to be owned by Uber or Lyft or Waymo or whatever, and they're going to be driving around.
We get a lot of pushback from people when we raise this idea with them. When we say to them that you could drive to work and then let your car go pick up people while you're at work and make you money, they go, I would never let my car be used by other people. So I'm curious, would you guys feel that way? Like it's your car, no one gets in my car unless I know them? Or would you guys be like, that's just a car?
Yep.
Because, I mean, they could trash your car.
Right, but I mean, especially like the Model 3 has a camera, so you would be able to see.
Has an interior, a camera that's looking
and
into
it
the
would be attached to some account, so you would obviously be able to,
that Joe Schmo just got in your car and he trashed it. So
right. I mean, you'd probably be able to like tell that was happening. I don't know. I mean, there's enough technology going around where you could probably like hold him accountable, and then he'd have to pay for it,
or insurance.
Yeah,
we're getting a lot of good questions and comments here.
Oh, Elon said you could limit it to friends and family. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
yeah. Like
well, I suppose. Car. Well, I mean, I suppose that you could limit your app to say only people with 5 stars or higher, or only people that I have already pre-approved.
Yeah,
that would be really smart.
Right. I'm gonna try adjusting the focus again because I feel like we're not actually focused. It's just that's too close.
Ooh, that's like very artsy right there.
Bokeh.
I feel like
it's not.
We might need to invest in a better camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the boys might have played football with this one or something.
Yeah. It's whatever. Hey, I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. The whole rest of the room looks great.
That's true. If we were back here.
Oh, yeah, you actually...
Wait, was I even focused?
You seem like you're in focus when you...
Is this better? The audio probably gets worse.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we did know that Brian Thompson was a fan of us. He friended me on Facebook.
Me too. Yeah.
But I haven't gotten the courage enough to talk to him.
No, he has like 1,000 friends. So.
And I feel like I haven't seen enough of his movies. I mean, he's in like 100,000 movies, so I feel like I've only seen a small fraction.
Right. I want to go and have like a night where we just watch all of his films.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of really cool.
Yeah. He's actually a Patreon, so I mean, he could be watching right now. Brian, if you're watching, hello.
Welcome. Welcome.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, Cobra with Stallone. Like that was before your time. That was the 80s. Right. I think I saw that when I was a kid. I think I might have snuck out of school to watch that movie.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is really cool.
This is really cool.
We've been doing this for about 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I think that this is something we can do. So we'd sort of record Tesla Time News. We'd be up on all the news like we are right now. We're up on all the news.
News of the day.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like this is we're going to be offering it for $8 a month or more patrons.
Yep. And just to mention, we're doing this to raise money for the Tesla Semi. That is the big new thing that Jesse and I are really excited about is we want to get the Tesla Semi. Now, most people pretty much everyone thinks that we're crazy to do that.
Mhm.
And we are.
Including loved ones and
Yep.
family
Everybody.
members.
Right.
And,
I mean, they're probably
Yeah.
signing commitment papers while we speak.
Yeah.
But we're doing this because it's not like we want to hoard this thing and keep it in the garage. We want to drive it around the country
and do cool stuff.
Really fun
We
stuff.
have some really interesting plans.
And we would love your ideas too, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have awesome ideas too.
Right.
Once you start opening your mind up to the fact that we have a truck,
Right.
and that we can have
Haul
a 53-foot
right.
trailer that can hold 80,000 pounds, then you begin to go, oh, we could do pretty much anything.
Right. It's so, I mean, you know, we were thinking.
Thank you, Melody.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were thinking of, like, you know, we could go with a band across the country with a pop-up stage.
Yep.
So tow the stage, and then you know, that would be really cool.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of questions, Nathan, about will there be a Patreon sub level to get to see the semi? And so one of the problems we're dealing with is first of all, we want everyone to see the semi.
Right.
And we would love it if there was a Patreon perk level where you could, you know, give us some money and we'd come see you at your house. The problem is the country is so big. We don't know yet where the mega chargers are going to be. In fact, we were just talking today that some of the first mega chargers are only going to be at places like Pepsi, Walmart.
Right, like at distribution centers, and
Right.
we don't know if we're going to have access to those.
Right. So there's so many unanswered questions. We're afraid that if we were like, yes, we will come visit you in such and such a place,
Right.
that we may not be able to actually do that and pull it off.
Right. And we wouldn't want to overpromise and underdeliver. That's something we don't want to do here.
Right.
And another thing is, like, if we were to have, you know, schedule an event, say, where we're going to be at a place, and, you know, we show up, we wouldn't want, you know, people who didn't, you know, we wouldn't want to create this, like, separate classes of people who, like, oh, well, welcome, you know, here's the velvet rope, you know, welcome people who've paid, you know, $1,100. You know, it seems so lame to us. Every time we go to EV events, we love showing off the car
to
everybody, and we want to make sure that we can continue to do that, and
especially
not limit
kids.
Ourselves. Right.
I really love showing off these electric vehicles to children because, first of all, they get it. I mean, every kid that sees the Teslas, they're just like, oh, I get it.
Right.
Yeah, you get it, kids, because you don't have any of these preconceived notions of how things are supposed to be. You understand it when something's brilliantly engineered.
Right.
But also to show them that, like, open up the possibilities of what life can be like. I mean, and where life is headed, sustainability and solar and all this kind of cool stuff. So yeah, that's what we kind of want to do. Some comments here about a mobile TV studio. Yes, see, fantastic idea.
That is a really
we were
good
thinking
idea.
of a mobile recording studio for music, but yes, a mobile TV studio means
recording studio. I didn't even think of that.
I haven't even told them that one yet.
That one's a really good one.
Mobile recording studio, so we can show up, record bands.
Right.
I want to have a pop-up jazz club.
Right. Well, everyone's heard of that one, but I was thinking of, like, or you were thinking of the Escape the Room in the Tesla truck. And then I was thinking,
do you guys know what Escape the Room is? That's so much fun.
Right. And then I was thinking of, like, a secret mission where it would be like, you know, have like a airsoft gun, you know,
flamethrower,
shoot the guards, and you'd get into the truck. I think that would be cool. I mean, there are some cool ideas. To be had, and, you know, we would love to hear some of your ideas and comments and stuff, because that's you know, that's going to be really fun. But yeah, we don't want it to, you know, we don't want to either limit people getting to see the truck, and we also don't want to, you know, have someone who's paid a lot of money feel like they're getting the same service as someone who just sort of walked in off the street.
Right.
So that's probably why we don't really want to have, like, a see the truck Patreon level or anything. We ideally would want everyone to be able to see the truck, but it's gonna matter to do with, you know, mega chargers and stuff like that. So hopefully that's a pretty good answer to your question. And
what do you think the next EAP feature would be that's enhanced autopilot? I'm guessing stopping at stoplight signs. Then when you're at a stop sign, you tap the pedal to continue, like brake hold. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the next ones is going to be off ramps. So you would put in your destination, and then it would know that take exit 22. It would just take exit 22. So I think that's definitely coming up in the works. But I do think you're right that reading signs, street signs, is definitely coming up as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering, because I think as the closer you get to fully autonomous, the more people trust, and I feel like they put a little bit too much confidence in. At least some people do. And so the more features that it has, the more extra confident people are going to be when it, has lots of cases where it's not going to be perfect. And I feel like it really has to be, perfect.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Agreeing with Jesse is that I think the reason there's been such a lack of features released is that they are going not for just one little update like, oh, now it reads stoplights.
Right.
I think they are going for a major release where it's going to go from where it is today to like a much higher level of autonomy.
Yeah.
That's my kind of guess. And I think it takes a lot of shadow work. So you guys know that the cars are shadowing right now. Basically, when you're driving along, you're sending data to Tesla and they are shadow testing the autonomy. So your car's not actually in autonomous mode, but it's like simulation.
Right.
And they've got millions and billions of miles of simulation. That's different than any car manufacturer. So when you hear about all these people like, oh, Tesla's falling behind, well, there's secret stuff going on behind the scenes, and they've got a lot of data which other manufacturers don't have.
Right. What happened to the autonomous drive to New York? So, I mean, this was something that was supposed to happen by the end of last year, and it never happened. And I mean, let's be real. Elon will promise lots of things, and they will generally happen, although they'll usually be late.
Right.
Usually because I think Elon, he always imagines things in terms of the laws of physics.
Right.
And so if he's like
people,
right, and so I think that people tend to disappoint him, and teams.
But I also want to point out what was happening was that the Model 3 was ramping up, and that they put all hands on deck for that, and so I'm sure they had to take people away from different projects. One of them being the drive from LA to New York,
right?
And you don't want to get that one wrong. You don't want to rush that. And so if the software's not ready or there's something not quite ready, you don't want to say, okay, here we go on our cross-country trip and then have a problem.
If there was a crash in the middle of Nebraska or something, the media would be all over it.
Yeah, imagine the pressure they're under. I mean, they've got to get this 100% correct because any little problem it has for whatever reason, it'll be just, oh, autonomous cars don't work. You know?
It'll be, a bad day for Tesla and autonomous cars just in general. Because, I mean, right now we're balancing, trusting electric vehicles and how they perform, and the more we trust them, the less kind of we want to invest in them to a certain degree. Like we want them, if we trusted, like if you got in the Tesla today and we're like, I can put it in autopilot, like you're in the driveway, it won't work. But if it did, like people would be like, oh, well, we don't have to invest in autonomous driving anymore, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a question here, and then I think we got to go.
Yeah.
What happened to the one under that? The one above that. My Model S already takes the exits, those without the dotted line down the shoulder.
We have not seen that happen yet.
Maybe what update did you get? Or maybe
where do you live? Maybe.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That yours does that. Yeah, because mine does not.
Yeah.
Wah. Under AP1. Yeah, I've got AP1, but yeah, it does not take exits.
So I mean, I guess ones without dotted lines. Sometimes there's just no lines on the road in Massachusetts where we live because it's just so awful.
There's so much salt on the roads right now,
and they don't paint them ever. It seems like.
And like the other night, we went for a ride, and there was a little bit of ice on the front of Sparky, which blocked the radar, so it wouldn't go into autopilot. My autopilot takes the exits I don't want it to take. Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
You see, there's little.
Oh well, sometimes when the lines aren't very good and it's on the side, and it kind of freaks out.
Exits are tough.
Yeah. All right. Well, I am glad that you guys you like Sunday afternoon. Awesome. I don't know. I'm assuming you mean this. I don't know. Afternoon. You're somewhere in the middle to those. Western side
so
of the
where are you, Luis?
Right.
You're in our time zone on the East Coast, or are you on the West Coast, or where are you? Yeah, and thank you for testing it, everybody.
Yeah, this is a very really successful.
I said to Jesse, like, there'll be no one watching right now. They're all watching the Super Bowl.
I'm very surprised. This is actually a perfect number of testees because
we can read your comments and all that.
Oh, you're in Massachusetts too. This isn't really afternoon. This is evening, right?
Well,
it's
evening.
Pitch black
Come on,
outside.
Luis.
I mean, it's super dark.
This is evening.
Yeah.
Luis, where are you in Massachusetts? We'd love to come meet you in the Model 3.
Ooh.
I mean,
you're a patron.
Yeah. we've met like dozens of people in Massachusetts already. We'd love to try and get the Model 3 out to people. So if you're around, let us know. You can send us an email, zach@nowyouknowchannel.com. And I always try and get back to people.
Springfield.
Oh, a little out of the beaten path, but there is a supercharger out there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. Cool. And everyone's like, hey, come to Florida, come to New Jersey.
Yeah. We're gonna have especially when we're doing our Roadster tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Roadster tour. Yeah. I'm getting excited for that.
I'm getting very excited for that.
And the European Roadster tour.
We just shored up our European Roadster tour.
Yes, it's getting very shored up.
So that is super excited.
All right.
Exciting. All right. We have to let you go. It's been 30 minutes of fun. What a great test. I'm so glad that you guys were able to join us and help support us. I'm just so glad that we got to do this, and hopefully we will see you in, I don't know when we're going to start this, probably next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
we're going to have to see how many people are signed up for that perk level, but anyone at $8 or above are going to get that.
Right. So we're going to be setting that up sometime this week.
No, it's all set up. They can go do it right now.
I want to see right now.
Jesse doesn't believe me. Jesse doesn't ever trust me.
Let's see.
He's going to the page right now.
Yeah, let's just see right now.
Scroll down to the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
285. Hey, there it is. That? Hey, okay. Neat. So anyway, if you were wondering what that $8 level was, that is going to be this. So we're going to have to sign off right now. But thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next week.
That's right.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have fun watching the Super Bowl.